Hello, what is up? Welcome to installment number 2 of the Tiger Bytes. It is, what is today? February 17th, Monday. It's about 1:30 Oklahoma time. Hope y'all are doing good today. Got some exciting news and updates going around campus, going around the community, so we'll get right into it. Last episode was about 40 minutes, so I really want to get these closer to 20 minutes. So I'm just going to rock right into it. I hope you guys are here hanging out. If not, you're watching it sometime later in the future. Just a reminder that I need students to do this. So if you're in mass comm or you're in some sort of wanting to get some experience with broadcast journalism, ooh, I'm a bit loud. Want to get some experience with broadcast journalism, let me know, because this is your platform. I'm just getting it started. So that way it's here for you. But all right. Got a lot of stuff to go over today. So the first thing I want to do is go through what's the upcoming events around campus. And so I'm going to go, let's share my screen and then we'll walk through that first. And this, again, is the weekly email that gets sent out. It's the Campus Connection is what it's called. So check your student email. You'll get these. One comes, they come out about afternoon time on a Monday. So just check out those. And they're great because they have all the announcements, but we're going to walk through them. This is for Tiger Tangles. So Tiger Tangles is actually coming up very soon. I believe it's not this coming Friday, the next Friday, I believe. We'll double check that date here in a second, but it is Tiger Tangles is a student-run talent show. We are in it. We will actually have three of our students, two of our esport players, and then another student that are in a band. They're going to be playing a song, so we'll have them actually be performing for us. Let me turn this. I forgot to mute this. I was going to leave it in the background, but it's distracting me, so I'm sure it's distracting you too, maybe. But yeah, so Tiger Tangles, please check that out. Even if you're in the community, you are welcome to buy tickets to this and come and hang out and see the amazing talents that our students have. And there are 3 categories. There are groups, clubs, and organizations. There are one for student organizations. So there's one for that group: clubs, orgs, groups, student organizations. One category is actually for individual groups. So if you're just a student who wants to, be on your own and show your talent, there's that. And then there's also a group for the Greeks and those organizations to kind of separate out those different things that are happening. Mondays, come and go prayers, the ECU Chapel, 11 to 1. Explain what that was last time. Please feel free at the Boswell Chapel right here in the middle of our mall. There is a resume and career fair prep workshop. I put these in Discord. Let me see if I have my Discord open. If I do, I'll show you how to access these. So we do have a publicly run Discord server that as a student, you are welcome to join it. Please do, especially if you're into gaming or you're doing anything gaming related. Should absolutely join our Discord because it's where, one, we run all of the events for our esports stuff, but it's a fantastic place to connect with other gamers that are out there. And I'll actually show you a couple of things. Let me get this moved over here. Now you're seeing Discord. You're seeing my personal Discord. So I have everything kind of muted or blanked out right now. But in our community section for Discord, let me get to the community. Here's the community. There's a community lounge. In the community lounge, there is a match information. And I know the text is hard to read, but what this is it has all of our matches, when they're happening, and where they're going to be streamed. And I update this throughout the week. So we're going to have some rough weather we're going to look at here in a minute as we go through this. But if anything changes, I update that here. And so if you're curious, it's the match information on the general tab. The other thing is events. I do have a section in Discord where I've been publishing our upcoming events. And the only reason I'm in here is because the events that I'm talking about as an example are in Discord. So if you're using Discord, then now you can use this to plug in with the community and also to keep up with the events happening around campus. And I just publish the events that I feel like are the most, the ones that are the most interesting or that relate to our students. But I will continue to do this and we'll continue to put our events in here. So as things come up and as things happen, we have a regional qualifier coming up. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening with esports that I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to go. And so I'm creating opportunities for you guys to engage as students and using Discord to help you and help me manage and get more outreach to get people at these events. So there you go, Discord. And if you need a Discord link, I will get you that. I actually will put it in the chat this time. I'll do it right now before I forget, because last time I said I would and did not. But if you ever need it, on our esports page, just ecok.edu/esports, there is a link in here for Discord, you can just copy this link and I'll put it in chat if anybody needs it. But that's where you find it if you're watching this in the future. You can join us on Discord right there. You just click that link. It'll sign you into our account, into your Discord account, and get you connected with us on Discord. So do that. This is why these take a lot longer than 20 minutes for me, because I go into wait. A couple students were asking me afterwards. They were like, how are we supposed to replicate this? Like, how do you know all of this stuff? Like, you just have, it's just, it's the way it goes. So I'm sure when it's a student doing it, it'll be much quicker because they'll stick to the script and not go off the rails like I do. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, resume, career fair, building. So a good question. So, and hello, Pirate. Hello. Good to see you. Hello, Mystic. Um, we are going to talk about the weather here in a little bit. Right now, I do not know and do not have an answer on school. I am going to give you my best recommendations, and we're going to look at the weather, and I'll talk to you kind of about that. But as right now, I don't know. But as soon as we know, I'll let you guys know, and you'll be notified usually via text message. But this career resume and career fair prep workshop, so it's actually a two-part thing. The first is a resume and career fair etiquette like class. So that's for an hour. So if you either need to know about your resume, like how to build one, if you want to get yours checked, and just to learn about the process of going to a career fair, definitely do that. It's February 18th, so that's actually tomorrow, 1 to 2 in the Chickasaw Business Conference Center. Now, again, put an asterisk next to some of these events because of the weather. Next is a craft night and pizza. So this is Tuesday, February 18th. So again, tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. There's free pizza and crafts at Momentum Campus Ministry. That's the one across the street that I had mentioned, right across from the admin building. And that's tomorrow night at 6:30. There is noonday lunches. So at the Baptist Student Union, noonday lunch at 11:45. It's Wednesdays. So Wednesday at noon, go to the Baptist Student Union, which is directly next to Momentum for lunch. And they do usually, when I've gone, they always have like some sort of sermon or some sort of like talk or something going on. So, and even if you're not religious in any way, it's a great place to go meet people, fellowship, and get free lunch. Can't do better than that. So, and so we have, oh, look at this. Our spring schedule starting to come in here. So we got some esports activity happening now, which is great to see. We should be publicized and published, and we should be getting our name out there. And so this is our match schedule, which I kind of mentioned in Discord. We have the match schedule. This is the published version. So of course things change. It's very chaotic at times. So just be prepared for that. This is our Magic the Gathering event that we're having this Thursday. So this Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m. here in the University Center. We'll be on the second floor, so up here by the eSport Lab. We're going to have tables set out. We're going to have some people here to teach you. So if you don't know how to play Magic the Gathering at all, please join us. We will teach you how to play. We have all of the resources we need to show you. But if you are actively playing or you have played in the past, bring your stuff, bring your deck. And we do have some extra things that we could do depending on the how many people show up. It is Thursday night, so again, asterisk at this point because of the weather. And again, we'll talk about that here later. Thursday night has an encounter worship at the Baptist Student Union at 8 p.m. That's a weekly thing that they do every week. Student government is having elections. So student government is, again, a great place to plug in if you're a student, if you're wanting like some leadership experience, you're wanting some speaking in front of people experience, those kinds of things. Student government's a great place to do that. And having a voice on campus is good too. So those are elections are February 24th. So that's next week. And Laura Brown is who you should reach out to if you have questions about student government and what particulars, like I would ask like what positions are open. What is the needs of student government look like are good questions to ask Laura. Lucky Tiger Bingo is back. Nice. This is good. The campus activity board's hosting Lucky Tiger Bingo next week on the 25th in the Memorial Ballroom. That is in the Memorial Student Union, the ballroom downstairs. The variety of awesome prizes to give away. Grab your friends and come and win. So there you go. Lucky Tiger Bingo night. These are free, by the way. This is a free event. So just come as long as you're a student with this one, you can participate. So definitely do that. What do we have Tuesday night? We do have matches going on Tuesday night. So if you're on like League of Legends or Street Fighter, you might have to skip that one. So I mentioned the resume workshop earlier. This is the part dose of that particular thing. So you go to a class to learn about your resume, learn about career fair etiquette, and then the career fair itself is on February 26th. So the resume workshop is tomorrow. Then next week is the actual career fair. Again, go to these, even if you're not looking for a job. Why? Because you can actually get some interview experience just by going to these, just by going and talking to these companies as if you are applying for a job is excellent experience. And I will say this a lot. And if you are around me, you'll hear me say this quite a bit, especially if you're job hunting. There is nothing better for you than going through an interview and not getting a job, because you will learn so much from that process that it will significantly increase your chances of getting the next job. So don't fret about like, well, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm qualified for this. That's fair, but the interview is the experience you're looking for right now, and do that. So this is a great opportunity for that. Business casual dress code. Bring 5 copies of your resume, and students and alumni are invited. March 1st is Tiger Jam. This is a new event. I don't think I've heard of this one before, so this might be new. Local food trucks, carnival rides, giveaways will be available at the football field from 12 to 4 on March 1st. You do not want to miss out. The first 150 students to check in will receive a free food voucher. So go to this. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm gonna try to pretend to be a student and go to get free food. Fun doesn't end after Tiger Tangles. Saturday, March 1st, 12 to 4. Food trucks, rides, giveaway. This is awesome. That's a good one. I like that. Go to that one. I'll make that. I'll put that in an event in Discord. And also, shout out if you're on the esports team, you get credit for going to these events, which then puts you in a drawing that I run just for our esport players. So if you're on the teams, you should know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you need to come talk to me so I can fill you in. Sigma Gamma Rho. I think we talked about this last time. The sorority that you can have if you have interest in joining. They're doing like an interest to see how many people on campus would be interested in that. So check that out if you are interested. I mentioned the food bank last time, so some of these announcements you'll hear consistently. ECU does have a food bank. If you're on campus and need help, if you're a student off campus and need help, this is a great place to go. And their inspiration of the week is: the hardest challenge is to be yourself in a world where everyone is trying to make you be somebody else. Very true. E.E. Cummings is that one. Shout out, #Cole. We actually had a conversation about this last week. We talked a lot about, why it's important to adapt your personality and why it's so difficult to do that, to adapt your personality to fit and adhere to different groups. Everyone does this. It's not like magic. It's not like you're a wizard for doing this. Everybody does it. You act very differently around different people. So, but that's kind of what we're talking about, is how is that important? Why is that useful? And why is it bad? There's the good, bad, and the ugly with all that. If you do have an event or something that you want to put in this, there is a way. Submit a Tiger announcement. You can do that, or send it to our marketing department. They can also help get stuff in here for you. All right, that is announcements for the school. Let's take a look at the calendar just so we can also catch up on another thing I was going to do differently this time was talk about the athletic events, because we are part of athletics, so we need to also help them. We still have that Kayla Ulmer exhibit that is available in the what's called Hallie Brown Ford Fine Arts Center, so go check that out if you haven't yet. Mentioned the career fair workshop. That's tomorrow at 1. We have softball, ECU softball versus Newman University tomorrow at 1:30. And let's see, is that home or is that away? I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. So it's an away game. Makes sense. Pause and Relax will be tomorrow too. So Pause and Relax is where they bring Nemo, the therapy dog, on campus, and Nemo is great, a lot of fun, but also just a good relaxing time to visit with that. And then ECU softball versus Newman at 3:30. So it looks like they play twice that day. Nothing on the books for Wednesday, Thursday. Same thing with the art exhibit. We have our Magic the Gathering event for us, so that we'll have that Thursday night. And then Friday, there is baseball versus Wichita Baptist University. Is this home or is this away? It's away. It's at. How I know that, ECU at the team. So there's that. And Saturday, also baseball at Wichita Baptist. I think this is a typo. Quachita? I think it's Wichita. I think this is the correct. I might be wrong on that, but let me know in chat if you know for sure. And today we actually have esports today, so I'm not sure why that didn't make it to the calendar, but that's okay. All right, let's talk about our schedule. So now we're going into, well, first weather. Actually, weather is the bridge between these two events. So let's go over that right fast. Weather. Okay. Weather's gonna be bad. Weather's gonna be bad. No joke. It's gonna be bad, and it's getting. I will say it's getting worse. From when I checked this yesterday to when I'm checking it today, this is worse. So I don't know what to expect. I'm gonna give you my ideas, and then you can follow along with that if you want to. But basically today should be okay. Tonight will be cold. It won't be freezing too much. So it won't be freezing tonight. It will start to precipitate tonight, and I'll show you kind of when that happens. And then moving into Tuesday, as you can see, it starts out in the morning at like 33, 34 degrees, and it does not go any higher than that. It drops throughout the day as the cold front moves in, and the precipitation's building up throughout the morning, and so we should be expecting some precipitation. They're talking between a half an inch to an inch. I also, too, just to be clear, this is the National Weather Service. This is the portal that most people should be using. The reason why is that weather predictions done by news places are often over exaggerated to try to get views. So just be aware of that. And then yeah, so Tuesday night it gets to 7 degrees, single digits, and yeah, as in chat, it's single digits the rest of the week. And that's not even what it feels like too. So to be fair, like on Tuesday night it says 7. The feels like it's going to be like -3, which is ridiculously low. The feels like on Wednesday during the day is 13, between 12 and 13 degrees. Then that night is 2. So the Wednesday night is so far the coldest night that we're going to have at 2 degrees. So it's going to be very chilly. With that being said, at this time, school is not closed and not canceled, and nothing has changed yet. I'm going to highly expect that we will probably be open Tuesday morning, but we'll probably close early. That's what my best estimation is that we'll close early and that we will not be open Wednesday or Thursday. And in fact, I've already canceled. We had a campus tour set up with Kanawha, so shout out Kanawha Tigers. They were going to be coming here Thursday to do like a campus tour, and I text Coach Brandon and I'm like, hey, it's going to be like 10 degrees outside. That is a terrible time to be doing a campus tour. So we are rescheduling that for next week. But yeah, so here's the weather. It's going to be very cold. We're going to have some precipitation. Just to kind of look at the amount of precipitation, it's showing between basically a tenth of an inch of rain and a basically like maybe 25% of an inch, whatever that calculates out to be. How many centimeters that is? It's like 5 centimeters of snow, a little bit of ice, and a little bit of sleet. And so again, you're hearing these weather predictions of like, oh, we're gonna have 2.5 inches. Well, what they do is they look at this and they look at this and then they extrapolate. It can be greater or less than by 50%. Then they say, okay, we'll take the greater 50% and there's your inch. That's kind of the way that those work. Just so you know, if you didn't already know that. Yeah. This is what I recommend you always use. But then again, we were in Oklahoma City Saturday. We checked the weather Friday. It looked okay. It was going to be cold. We get up to Oklahoma City this past Saturday. We're shopping, doing our thing. Went to Brickfest. It was great. And as we're going to dinner, it starts to snow, and everyone's freaking out because there was no snow at that morning. Like it built up throughout the day and just was a shock. So we had to drive home through a blizzard on a Saturday night, and it was not expected. And it was snowing at 8 of Saturday night, and everyone was like, "What the crap?" Because it wasn't really planned. I share this fact a lot. Weather reporting is extremely inaccurate. They say it's accurate if the weather is correctly predicted within a 50-mile radius. So as long as it snows or rains this amount within a 50-mile radius of here, it's good. That's not very accurate. Think 50 miles from here. That's a long ways. That's past Shawnee. That's a long ways away. So 50 miles is what they consider accurate at this point. Crazy. That's an area AI should help us a lot, is actually with weather reporting. Should make it much more accurate. All right. Looking at what we had last week. So we had competition last week. We played a bunch of matches. So it was great. We had a lot of really good things happen. Our League of Legends team actually won. We played against, what was it, California State University. So is one of the California State University schools, and we beat them in League of Legends. So that was a super exciting match. And I'm going to play a clip from it, just a little clip from it, but later. But it was a really good match. We came out and did really good the first match. It was kind of close. The second match, though, they took it. The second match, it was the complete opposite. They came out and California State was just in control the whole game and didn't end well. But the third match, it was back to basics for us and back to what we expect from our Tigers from a League of Legends perspective, and then we won. So we're currently 2-0 for our League of Legends national run. So we're currently undefeated. We have our next match potentially tomorrow, and all of that's an asterisk because if because the weather's going to get bad, the campus may close. If the campus closes, then our labs are closed unless somebody from the wellness center can be up here to open it, which that's just like a maybe, I can't guarantee for sure. So we may have to reschedule some of the matches this week. So be prepared for that. That may happen. Monday, we'll talk about Great American Conference here in a second. Next on Wednesday, we had Rocket League. Was this Rocket League? No, this is Smash Brothers. So we had Smash Brothers against Houston, University of Houston. We did not win this match, so this was a loss for us. Very difficult. So Smash again is one we're trying to build up. So my expectations aren't really too much victory out of that group right now. We're getting ready for the fall, where we're back in the Great American Conference to do significantly better next semester. Got some new people on that team, so they're gonna be killing it. Rocket League had a super exciting first match. I mean, shout out to those guys. They're a brand new team. Our first Great American Conference match was rough. We were going up against really top tier talent, but this was our first national match against Buena Vista University. It was great, a lot of fun. It was really exciting. We did win, so our Rocket League team nationally is currently 1-0, and they'll have their next match this Thursday. There is a match with Sitting Bull College, so shout out to Canada if Hey Yeti's watching, or not Hey Yeti, but yeah, our friends from Canada are watching, and they're a Canadian school from Toronto, Buffalo Valley, and they had a snowstorm last week, so we're still working on trying to get that one caught back up. So hopefully that one gets caught up soon. So shout out to them. Buffalo Valley. Friday was Overwatch. JV is killing it. I mean, JV is doing really good. They are now 2-0. They won against York University. We have a couple of highlight clips from Overwatch here in a bit, so if you want to stick around and watch that, feel free. And so they are doing great. Really, really great job. Alex has joined that. Alex went from varsity to JV to help kind of coach and help organize that group a bit, and then that has made a huge difference from they're getting feedback, they're trying new things. I'm seeing them use different characters that they don't ever play. Chance is a great example. Seeing him play Tracer was great. So I'm seeing them kind of like open up a bit, kind of like flexing their wings, and they're doing really well. So they're doing really good, and again, that's the future of the program, is these guys. So it's really exciting to see them continue to improve, continue to get better, and get prepared for the bigger stage. And that, honestly, from my perspective, that will make our varsity team even stronger next year. Having a really solid team and a JV team like that as like bench strength will make us even more deadly next semester, to be honest. So it's even better. Our Overwatch varsity played against SWASU, and we lost this match. This was a close match, really tough fight for us, and so we did lose that. We did win one of the rounds, so it went 3-1. We play SWASU again in the Great American Conference, so I was talking with some of them. You'll have an opportunity to come back out and beat these guys. Like, do that, take advantage of that, and don't fret about it. But it's good. But so varsity is currently 1 win, 1 loss for the season. We'll see how they continue to go. They're supposed to play this Friday, but again, some of these are already being rescheduled. So this is what the outlook looks like right now nationally for NECC. We are supposed to play tomorrow for both League of Legends and also for, I believe, Smash Brothers. But again, these are going to be rescheduled, I would imagine. So we're playing OU. We're playing Oklahoma University in Smash tomorrow. We're supposed to, but they're already rescheduling. They're working on figuring out when they're going to play this match. So, heck yeah, we play OU. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd be bracketed with the great giant of OU? Thursday is supposed to be Rocket League. We will see if they're going to be playing their match or not. So we'll find out. We'll see. And then Friday we should be having Overwatch. So we should be back in session. We're playing the Heston Larks, Heston College. Where is Heston College? Where is this at? Heston College is a 2-year Mennonite college. In Heston, Kansas. Huh? Heston, a Mennonite college in Heston, Kansas. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, all right. Heston, there you go. Heston, Heston College. Let's see what they got. They didn't have anything about esports on their main page, but let's see if they've got anything here. No. Womp womp womp. And I hope you guys are watching. I'm using this to compare where our program is at compared to everyone else. This is a 2-year private Mennonite university that should have esports if they're fielding those teams. You would think they would have that on their website. They don't have anything. They don't have a thing about it on their website. So go us. We're doing good. We at least have that going for us. All right, that is nationally. Look at the Great American Conference. We have a match tonight that is scheduled. We are going to be playing it against Southern Nazarene University, or SNU. And yeah, so SWASU is not a straight rival to us. They're in the Great American Conference, so they are one of the sister schools that we compete against regularly. But our rival is Southeastern. That's our official school rival is Southeastern, which that's who we played in Rocket League first round, and their Rocket League team is outrageous. We played them in March for Overwatch, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it should be good, and we should be in South. We should actually be traveling to Southeastern on March 10th. Both the varsity and JV team are going to travel to Southeastern in March to play in person. And so that's going to be really fun. We're going to try to make a whole thing about it and make a big deal out of that, because that's going to be really cool to have, all of our units go down there and visit and hang out. So we should have close to 20 people, 20 students going, which is great because that's enough to get the big bus. And that was one of my goals this semester was for us to get us in the big bus. I want us to feel special and go somewhere in the big bus. All right, that is Overwatch. They'll be playing tonight, so tune in tonight at 7. We'll be broadcasting Overwatch. We also do have some Street Fighter 6 tonight, so it will be, again, we'll try to mingle that in with the other content, and hopefully by the end of this week I'll have a broadcast manager. I went through the applications this past week over Friday and Saturday, and yeah, I have interviews to schedule with 2 people, so I'll get those done tomorrow. Tuesday is going to be Rocket League. We play Arkansas Tech, ATU. So shout out to them, and we'll see how that goes. So we're both 0-1 for the season, so we'll kind of come at it and see who wins that one. So got that Rocket League Tuesday, got Overwatch tonight, Rocket League tomorrow. And then in the other league that we play in, our Fortnite teams have not been doing great. I'll just say that they've been they're not been doing great. So I think one of them is ranked 77th and one is ranked 60 something. So they need to be much higher ranked to go on to the playoffs. They do play tomorrow night. They're supposed to play tomorrow night, but again, weather permitting, that'll change. And Fortnite's kind of one that if we miss the match, we just miss the match. There's not really an opportunity for us to make it out, which is a bummer, especially if they want to do better. They got to have all the opportunities possible to do better. And like, that's kind of there you go, builds his 49th. Yeah, I want them to have every opportunity to do better, but if we're close, that's going to be kind of a bummer. So we're trying to figure that out for tomorrow night. And then we also will still continue to we are fielding. Turner is playing in college football, so we do have that Wednesday nights. We haven't played a match yet. Our opponent last time didn't check in, and we're trying to reschedule that if we can. They have so much time to check in with us. If they don't, then they do forfeit, which I reversed the forfeit because I wanted to give them the opportunity to try to actually get the match done. So Turner should have a match this Wednesday, again, time permitting, and if the weather permits. We have the ability to cast those. We're just working on having somebody there to cover it on Wednesday nights. So we'll figure that out. But we are doing that. We are trying college football out. We're also doing still Street Fighter 6 through this league. And so we'll continue to check in on their progress. Man, that was a lot. Where are we at for time? Dang, I'm still at 30 minutes, and we're getting the highlights. So man, I've got to figure out how to get this thing much more condensed, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, some highlights, just a few of them. I wanted to first give a shout out to Gracie, aka Pirate. So one of the things I had mentioned was doing making something new called the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is just a platform for you guys as students to come in here we have the setup. We have all of the stuff here sitting that you could use to come online and broadcast. The Tiger's Den is really just a space for you to come in and try something out if you want to, if you just want to. So it's kind of like a no pressure type thing where it's more for you to come in and play and hang out with the community and to do, to do that. And so thank you, Gracie. She was the first to come on and do this. So she has a first episode on here of the Tiger's Den. She played Overwatch for for at least an hour. Just kind of talked about, what she's got going on, and Overwatch will have some changes. And so she'll actually be said that she'll be on tomorrow, as long as we're open. She'll be on tomorrow about 4 to just play through some of the changes in Overwatch, because Overwatch is having some pretty massive changes happening. So thank you, Gracie. Shout out to her for doing that. I wasn't going to showcase any any highlights from that in particular, but yeah, that is it. I wanted to come in and take a second to look at Rocket League, just because Rocket League was super exciting and I was super happy to see them do well. And it's just fun to watch Rocket League just in general. It's just fun to watch.
Looks like Igor goes for a good block there. Getty with the aerial control, but Big Mario J, almost rebounds it and gives it to, I couldn't tell who that was, but not one of us. Look at that, really trying to finesse the ball to get it closer in front of our goal so someone can score, but we are not letting him. Oh, Big Mario J, nice. Almost got a great shot on goal.
Left it open though.
Nice. Oh, and Kenoshi sends it. Okay, good block from C Maestro here. Yeti seeing if he can pass it towards mid so that Kenoshi can get to it. Oh, hey, Yeti might actually get the goal himself. No, see, we haven't blocking this, but just Igor blocks it. Nice. Is this played controller or keyboard and mouse?
Which one?
Is it controller or keyboard and mouse?
For who?
Anybody.
Keyboard and mouse for Keonachi.
Okay.
He's only KBM and everybody else is controller.
Good to know. It is mixed.
Playing KBM is insanely, like, you have to be insanely skilled for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, most games do greatly have a better advantage to keyboard and mouse. But as understandable as a lot of players are native consoles, it's kind of hard to get used to keyboard and mouse, especially as you're able to develop such a good rapport when you get these high ranks.
ECU's in the orange here. This is typical. This is very typical for Rocket League, especially competitively, is a lot of back and forth. This particular round, they stayed neck and neck for quite some time. ECU does end up scoring right about here.
Nice cut. Open. It is open. Oh.
Dropped it in there.
Great pass from Kenoshi to Hey Yeti. Oh, no, that was actually a pass from Majestic Igor to Hey Yeti. Look at that. Team.
Right on the top. Such a good play.
Absolutely great pass.
Yes, sir.
There you have it. So, yeah, Rocket League's off to the races. Super excited for those guys. They are getting it. So, and actually, I think we're going to cut it here just because we're already at 35 minutes. So, and I'll continue to make these shorter and sweeter as time progresses. But thank you all for hanging out. We went over the updates for program updates. I got a few program updates, so I can go over those just for a moment. A few program updates. These are actually exciting, so bear with me. The first one is ECU is, especially our esports program, we are actively signing with Red Bull. Like, that's happening. So Red Bull is a partner. They're going to partner with us. They're going to help us with some advertising stuff. They're going to help us with our events. And so we've actually are signing this week with Red Bull. So that's going to be a huge win. One of the cool things that'll come with that is they're going to be bringing a fridge, like an actual Red Bull fridge, putting it in our lab, and they're going to keep it stocked for us, for the players, for so long. So that's a great thing for us. Again, part of my job is to find these partnerships, these sponsorships for our program, to give us greater visibility, to make it more legitimate, and to bring us things, because we deserve all of the things right now. So Red Bull should be here Thursday. Again, weather permitting, we'll see. We'll make sure that happens. That'll be a big production, by the way. So when that does happen, we'll have video, we'll have marketing here. It'll probably be in the newspaper, so it'll be a big deal. Next one is we have on campus the Brandon Witten Institute. So shout out BWI if you guys are tuning in. But the Brandon Witten Institute is their primary focus is on suicide prevention, and also drug addiction, specifically with stimulants. That's their focus is on stimulants. And so Brandon Witten Institute, they're on campus. They do a lot of mental health stuff, a lot of suicide awareness stuff, a lot of training on mental health awareness and that kind of thing. And so we actually, I have partnered with them. Like I want to help them and I want to see them succeed. And so we've kind of been working together on some of our events to where they will show up and set up a table side by side with us. They'll come in and talk to our players. They're going to do a training for us. And so we actually formalized an agreement between Brandon Witt Institute and ECU Tiger Esports, which we both signed Friday, which was very exciting. And it just, all it is it formalizes the fact that we're working together and we are here, we're seeing results. Like both of us are seeing good things come from this. And so it's more of documenting, hey, we're doing this and it's going well. So that was really exciting. So we signed that with them on last week. So two really, really good things happening that are great. New sponsor and a continued partnership with the Brandon Witten Institute. So thank you all for hanging out. I appreciated this very much. This is the Tiger Bytes again. I'm looking for someone to take this over. So if you like this, come take this over so it can actually be 20 minutes and not 37. So y'all enjoy your week. Keep an eye out for the weather and I'll keep you posted in Discord if anything changes. Y'all have a beautiful week. I would say beautiful, but you know, it's supposed to get yucky. Very, very yucky. So we'll catch y'all later.